Hi, my name is Kylie Savage and I'm studying classical civilizations at AS level. I've already done half a video on God's fate and justice in tragedy. So now I'm going to look at the Medea and Trojan women. First of all, in Medea, it doesn't feature any gods in the play. It instead almost transforms Medea herself into a god. Both Medea and Jason believe the gods are on their side. Medea says to Jason in the Agon, "Do you wonder, I wonder, think that the old gods no longer rule?" And "You must know you are guilty of perjury to me." And in reply he says, "I call the gods to witness that I have done my best to help you and the children." Medea sees the gods as instruments of justice, but Jason thinks that the gods work for him. "On your house too, fate sends me a curse," Medea says to Jason, implying that she's an instrument of justice, a fury. And then Jason says to Medea in the Agon, denying that she helped him, "That credit for my successful voyage was solely due to Aphrodite." At the end, this argument is still ongoing. "The curse of child's blood be on you, avenging justice blast your being," Jason says. Medea cries back in retort, "What god will hear your imprecation, oath-breaker, guest deceiver, liar?" Euripides allows the ending of the play to show who's actually right. While Jason breaks open the doors, the audience would expect Medea to come out on the epicleia, but instead she's given a deus ex machina, which is usually reserved for the gods in theatre, inside the chariot of the sun, her grandfather. She then reveals her new gift of prophecy. She says, "You, as you deserve, shall die an unheroic death." She also says that to Jason. She also sets up a cult. She says, "I will ordain an annual feast and sacrifice to expiate this impious murder." This cult was it's a baby crying on the office. This cult was a real one in Euripides' own day. Accordingly, the audience would be shocked. The gods are supporting a woman. "Many matters the gods bring to surprising ends," say the chorus. And she's not punished. Jason can't quite grasp this, and even once she's gone, he's shouting, "I call the gods to witness that you killed my sons!" It's too late. Medea herself appeals to the earth and the sun loathes, and it is worth remembering that the poison on the dress that kills Glauce is a gift from her grandfather, who is the sun. "These treasures which my father's father, the sun, bequeathed to his descendants." Unusually in this play, Medea decides her own fate. Usually in this play, Medea decides her own fate as the instrument of justice, fury. She uses a god's special skill and transcends into a god. The contemporary audience may well have had a problem with seeing this ending as justice. Killing her children is fairly horrific, but remember that in most tragedies, killing equates to justice, though normally the offender, not innocent people. In an art exam, we can argue whatever position really we want, as long as we look at the points of view. So that was Medea. So now in Trojan Women, the Trojan Women depicts self-obsessed and vengeful gods. In the prologue, Poseidon's a bit mean. Poseidon and Athena discuss the fate of both the Greeks and the Trojans. Poseidon says that he did support Troy. "Never has my heart lost its goodwill towards the city of the Phrygians, but has lost," and he doesn't seem upset for his people. He treats it like a game. He says, "I too am going to leave Ilium, the renowned, my altars, resigning victory." This seems to be because there's no personal benefit for staying. He says that whenever a city succumbs to its misery of desolation, the worship due to the gods also falls sick and loses its accustomed place. He agrees to do Athena a favour, even though they're on opposing sides and she's just destroyed his people. And Athena's loyalty to the Greeks is just already gone. She says, "I want to bring joy to the Trojans, who are my enemies before, and to give the Greeks a journey home they'll bitterly regret." But her plan for revenge on the Greeks will bring the Trojans no joy, as the rest of the play shows, because it's just silly. Moreover, her motive is not about justice, but it's just a personal vendetta against them. She's like, "You aware what they've done, the insult they've done to me in my temples?" Crucially, the Greeks aren't punished for their cruelty to the helpless, but only punishing temples. This isn't justice. Throughout the play, the Trojan women realise what had already been shown, that the gods are not just and they've abandoned them. The chorus lists all the Trojans that the gods have loved and portrayed Ganymede, who Zeus made his cupbearer, but Zeus didn't save his city. Tithonus, who was married to Dawn, but she forgot to give him youth when she gave him immortality, then left him, so he keeps getting older and older and never dying. And at the end of the Stasimon, the chorus say, "God is the love the gods once had for Troy." Andromache too realised that the gods have abandoned her. "The gods have destroyed me, and I am powerless to save my sons from death," she says. Hecate still believes that for a while the gods are just. She prays to Zeus in desperation when she sees Andromache, and before the agon with Helen, she prays to him again. Although here we enter like a philosophical, I can't say the word, I'm tired, philosophical, yeah, that word, about the divine. She says, "Power beyond our knowledge, Zeus," showing she's now certain whether the power in charge of the universe really is, but she still has faith that there's still justice. She says, "Few direct in the way of justice or mortal affairs." In the Agon, Helen argues that gods are physical beings with the same vanity and flaws as us, and that we are merely pawns in their game. The man who is this woman's evil spirit had a powerful goddess at his side when he came. Here, in that, she argues that Aphrodite made her go with Paris. She uses the gods to argue that there is fate, and therefore she's not responsible for any of her actions. Not sure I can agree with that. She tells Menelaus to punish the gods and show yourself stronger than Zeus. However, Hecate argues that the gods are not childish and selfish as mythology implies, and criticises Helen for using gods as an excuse to escape punishment. "Do not represent the gods as a witness lends colour to your own wickedness." She is annoyed. Oh, on The Office, they just lost Glee. They were watching it and it disappeared. That's why she screamed. Anyway, so Hecate presents a psychological idea of the divine. She tells Helen, "When you saw him, your mind became the goddess," implying that the gods are our passions and like you're in our heads, and psychological forces such as lust in Helen's case. After the Agon, the Trojan women are even more dejected. The chorus asks, "Have you betrayed us to the Greeks or Zeus?" They reject him and become angry. "I wonder, O king," they say, "I wonder if, as you sit on your eternal throne in heaven, you can take account of these things when my city has perished in fire." Even Hecate eventually sees that the gods do not care, the futility in praying them. "Oh, you gods, yet why do I invoke the gods? Even before this, they were dead to our appeal." The gods and Trojan women, therefore, are petty, vindictive, and unjust. Helen brings up the idea of fate, blaming Hecate for not killing Paris, and claiming that all human events are part of a bigger plan. But she is self-serving, and the fate argument seems unlikely based on the way Athena changed her mind on whim. We suffer because the gods can do what they want. However, Euripides' theme throughout seems to be that bad things will happen to us, and these events are arbitrary. However, how we react and how we treat others is our responsibility, is the message portrayed. So that was Medea and the Trojan women, looking at the themes of fate, God, and justice. Good luck in your classics, tragedy, A-level exam.